So now what do I do? Well, I guess there's only one thing. There's something I'd like to know. Are you real? Can you feel?
Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name is Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirits, my intuition, the tarot to communicate energies to you guys, fantastic viewers. If you guys are new to this channel, welcome. I'm so glad you guys are here and that you guys found me. For those of you guys returning, I can't express to you guys how blessed I am to do your reading. And we have another reading for you guys. And each topic is going to be different in the piles, okay? If you're called to multiple piles, that's absolutely fine. As usual, we could be tapping into your energy around you, situation, circumstance, person, place, thing. I don't know. I'm just reading energy, and everything sort of holds energy. Okay. And so it's up to you to sort of allot that energy to whatever's going on in your world. This is a collective reading, meaning it's going to be different for everyone. But that energy signature frequency that I'm tapped into should be resonating with your energy frequency of what's going on around you. It's either you, someone, a place, person, thing, whatever. Okay. But don't force it to fit and don't expect to see what you're going to see, because then you miss what is being shown to you. Okay. So we will look at what these three different topics are shortly, but if you are already feeling a pile, you can go ahead and select from the timestamp in the description box and in the pinned comment below. It will take you directly to your pick. And for those of you guys who want to wait to see what this is, you can click on that timestamp as well, which I will put, revealing what these three are. We will go through the decks that I used for this reading, but I do want to start off with a quick-ish disclaimer here, okay? And I do suggest everyone sort of listen to this disclaimer. This reading is going to be a little wild, okay? A little wild. I think it's going to be a lot different than maybe what I have been channeling here, because this was coming through as something very different. Although we have done something like this in the past, but this energy that I'm really pulling through seems very different. And it's not, like I say, intended to trigger anybody, okay? So if it's not your reading, it's just not your reading. It doesn't resonate, go check out another reading. You know, you can check out another pile if you don't resonate with that pile. And it could very well be that I'm not your reader as well, and that's fine. You know, you can definitely stay subscribed if you like, or you can do whatever you wish. I do hope that all the readings do resonate for you at one point in time, because all my readings are timeless. Meaning whenever you click on the video, the message was meant to find you. Okay, so do use your own intuition to tap into what the messaging is. I can't do that for you. Okay, that is a connection between you and the divine. Best way to develop your intuition is to come up with what you'll see, feel, or hear throughout the reading so that you know whether that's your pile. Okay, and so that's why I include the card layout. Now, I have pre-shuffled oracle cards. I've not looked at any of these cards, and all I asked Spirit was exactly what was underneath the paper here that I'm going to show you in regards to be able to come up with a grouping of cards so that I can channel your message. Okay, I'm just reading energy, and it's a channel from the divine, so I don't know how it comes through, or sometimes it makes absolutely no sense to me. So, you know, it's not me giving my opinion or my perception or any of that stuff, which, you know, is a misconception when we look at how people channel when they're actually channeling, or looking at like the definitions of the tarot. You know, when we read the definitions through the tarot cards, that has nothing to do with the reader so much as it is they're channeling from a place of the divine. And everyone sort of attributes a different definition, although the divine knows what that person would sort of be channeling when they look at that imagery or that card or whatever. And so therefore that card is the card that comes out. Okay, so if we're doing it obviously correctly, I mean, there's no wrong way, but at the same time, there's no, you know, sugarcoating or trying to force messages or any of that done in my channel at all. So if you're looking for someone to make you feel good when you want to feel good, I am not going to be that reader. Okay. Although if the message is a feel good message, then I'm happy. And I like delivering those much better. Okay. But I think because my commitment to my promise to why I've been doing this to the divine is to provide a level of healing, and healing isn't fun. healing messages are usually challenging messages. And so that's usually what pulls through this channel. Although I'm not saying that these are all going to be challenging. Okay, could be. I don't know. I'm excited to see. I can't wait. Every reading is sort of different, and I find out when you find out. And so I do enjoy finding out, okay? But I don't always enjoy when I deliver messages that could be challenging after the fact, because it's very draining, But I do know that it is meant to be heard at the time that you hear it, of course, if it resonates for you. And so that is the ultimate goal, not for me to feel good and feel better and get subscribers and all that. Okay, that's definitely not why I do this at all. In fact, I don't need anybody to validate whatever's going on here. If it resonates, take that away, and I'll know that you're good, and I'll be good with that. And just knowing that exists makes me happy. Okay, so beautiful people. Now that the disclaimer's done, let's take a look at these wackadoodle picks. So option number 1, lay it all on me, Spirit. I am ready. Lay it all on me, Spirit. I am ready. Wow. Option number 2, bitch, what now? Yep. I'm assuming I'm the bitch. And say what? So, fascinating topics. Okay, I do take readings very, very seriously, and these were legitimately the topics that came through. Okay, so I'm not fucking around with you, and the Spirit has a message for you. You can resonate with multiple piles. Don't stay fixed to one. Okay, you could only resonate with what's going on in one, but if your intuition's calling you to multiple, well, then I would listen to that. Okay, and just because you're here doesn't mean that there is a pile that's going to be your messaging today. It's absolutely okay not to have one. You don't need to have one. Don't make everything fit. Okay, so although energy is very, everything does mean something, but we're not always receptive at the right time. And so it could put us in a tizzy. All right, so beautiful people, here's the 3 options. I will leave this with you guys. And for those of you guys interested in the decks, let's get into the decks we'll be using. So there are quite a few decks for this read. Okay, this is Cope. If you guys are interested in looking at the cards in these decks, I do have a playlist. It's called Tarot Deck Flip Through. Tarot and Oracle card deck flip through. And there you will see the majority of these decks. And that way you can see if it's something that you like to invest in. Now, I do the reveals of these decks. This just came with no box. It's the Modern Love Oracle from Etsy, from Simplistic Mystic. What was I saying? Yeah, I do the card reveals so that we can energetically go through the deck together. If you do intend on staying with this channel, it helps for the energy of the cards. Now, because there is no past and future, this means that whenever you energetically charge the cards, you're energetically charging all the readings with those cards, okay? And so your reading is going to be connected to your energy with the cards that we go through. And pretty much every single one of those videos ends in a mini reading. So you could certainly sit through those readings. It might resonate. And if you are a tarot reader, it might help you to learn how to channel some of the messaging with some of those cards. Okay, because Oracle cards might be very different if you're used to the tarot, how to channel Oracle, and vice versa, So beautiful angels, those are the cards, and these are the piles, and I will see you at your pick. Beautiful pile number 1. Lay it all on me, spirits. I am ready. You brave souls. Oh my goodness. So let's take a look. What is this message for you? So I was getting a very strong feeling when I was putting this together, and it was like I kept hearing, okay, don't get freaked out, but I kept hearing, let him have it, let him have it, let him have it, let him have it, like really strong, like let him have it, like, I don't know, maybe you're going to let somebody have it, you know, or maybe you're about to get it from spirit. I don't know. There's some form of really strong karmas here, I feel like in play. Okay, like really strong. And so we're about to get it. And like I said, go listen to the disclaimer because I'm not here to trigger anybody, okay? And I'm going to read this exactly as it comes out. And this one's really fired up. Like I'm super fired up right now. And I had coffee, thank God, because if I didn't, this wouldn't go very well. So could be you, someone you're dealing with. I don't know. Let's take a look. You can go ahead and skip on the channel message, although I can't guarantee that the messages won't come through as I lay these cards out. This layout is here in order to help you develop your intuition. Okay, there's no shortcuts in life. If your intuition's all cloudy, I do suggest you sit through this card layout. What you'll see, feel, or hear to determine whether this pile makes sense for you, or you can go ahead and click on the channeled reading because you are already in tune with your intuition and you'd like to save time, and this reading is very long. Okay, beautiful people, there's no wrong, there's no right, there's just you knowing intuitively what feels good, what feels bad, and where you're cutting corners and where you're in line with spirit. All right, so we have you don't know, but you think you know. Oh my goodness, number 20. So 20, number 2. 2 is all about choices, balance, duality, high priestess. High priestess is all the, you know, things we can't see. So you think, you know, that's the worst kind of thing, you know, where you don't see or understand and you think you do. And that could lead to a lot of trouble. Okay, so here we have 50. I don't know what that is. This looks like a coin. And then we have this little like fishing pole. Can you guys see if I hold it here? I'll hold it down here because there's glare, but I don't know. It's like a fishing pole that's already sort of left there to catch fish as we go do something else. But this 50 coin, I don't know what's that. We'll see. What's the 50 coin? And we see somebody here, and it looks like they're writing something in a journal of sorts, and maybe they're in deep thought. Maybe they're chewing their eraser. Maybe they're considering how to word something here. You know? Maybe they're editing something or they're brainstorming about something. I do feel there's some consideration about how do I word this or what's going to look better or sound better. Or yeah. We got 2 people tangoing. And this beautiful lady, she's wearing green. Green's all about the heart chakra. She's a red flower in her hair. Beautiful, long, black, brown hair. This looks like ballerina dancers, tango dancers. Okay, and then we have the yin yang. One's a car, one's a bike. Movement in both, 2 different modes of transport. Okay, and then this intuitive card is meant to be read intuitively, although there is writing on the back, which we'll look at shortly. So this looks like a priestess of sorts, and she has butterfly wings. So butterfly wings could be talking about a transformation or something being guided to transform, maybe some form of liberation here. With the butterfly wings, it says sovereign. Yeah, 43. So 43 could be an age, an important number here. Or the number 7, which is movement, chariot energy, which I'm getting from this. So Cancer energy, affirmation, I am my authentic self and no one has dominion over me. Beautiful. We have spider, create magic. So Scorpio energy. And we have the condor, receive messages from spirit. Okay. Yeah, because crows, which is Similar to condors, they're birds that communicate messages between worlds. Something about a message here coming through very strong. Okay, this one's saying from spirits. And I do feel like there's something that's being channeled through you or trying to come through spirit for you to be able to put it into manifestation, whether that be through a creative project or through you acting on something that's being channeled to you. The champion, achievement and downfall. And look at the sword of truth is crumbling. Something very strong here about communication and truth and authenticity. Speaking your truth, you know. Something's disintegrating here. We see the eye, the intuitive eye, which talks about the intuition. And the intuition is what's connected here to spirit, so that we can pick up messages. But if their intuition is not open, you know, we might not be seeing some form of authenticity or truth here. It says achievement and downfall. So here we have a bag, and it looks like it's a steaming bag of shit. Okay. That's what it looks like because there's steam coming from this. Okay. We have physical touch. A tender touch can mean so much. And so we have two people here again. Very similar. Except here it looks like, I don't know, this guy's sort of in a higher position in some capacity. Here she's standing. He's on his knees like he's about to propose in some way, or I don't know. You see him wearing a hat and feathers. He's giving me Robin Hood sort of energy here. Tender touch can mean so much. Okay, 47 or the number 11. And we have back to what you love, reevaluate your desires. Oh my goodness. Number 3. 3 is all about growth and relationships. 3 is Empress and Hangman. So Empress is all about abundant love, giving, receiving love. Okay, unconditional love, divine feminine. And the Hangman's all about a change of perspective, being enlightened. So we'd have to work with the divine in order to understand from a different point of view. Something could definitely be in limbo. We have healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. So we don't take words literally here because it's all about the energy that pulls through, although this could definitely talk about ancestral wounds, traditions, things that have been integrated into our belief systems. Okay, it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic love here, although it could definitely mean this. It could just be impacting our relationships. Intimate friendships, family relationships, okay? Take what resonates here. And it says insecurity. Your worth is intrinsic and unchanging. Doubt, uncertainty, and anxiety. Okay, and then we also have guilt. Release the chains of past mistakes. So talking about this whole thing here. And embrace the growth they bring. Remorse, shame, and regret. Right under the bag of shit, if I could say that. Realization, 37 or the number 10. The frequency of realization supports the internal process of becoming aware of our heart-centered truth, as well as the external process of becoming our highest expression in this world. Wow, so that's Hangman energy, you know, when we have this realization coming from we don't know where. It's coming from the divine. But our intuition needs to be clear, and we need to be willing to see and accept truths, especially if we think we know something that's untrue. It clouds our perception here, okay? 44, that could be an age or a specific number that means something to you, okay? That's a master number. It's integrity as a foundation, treating the earth as home and temple. Guess what? You're a part of the earth here, okay? So your body, that is your temple. Okay, manifestation and leadership. This is the Ace of Cups, which talks about emotional new beginning. It talks about self-love, being abundant. We tapped into number 3, which is like this Ace of Cups energy, you know, self-love, self-worth. Your dreams are closer than you think. Wow, beautiful. So 44 is 8. 8 is about movement. Okay, change, attainment. Okay, 8 is also star energy, which is all about healing and hope. It's all about destiny. 8 is also the strength card in the tarot, which is all about our courage to face things, know when to allow ourselves to move forward and when to be held back. We need confidence. And we need to sort of tame the beast if we need to here in some capacity as well. Okay, that's Leo energy. I'm also seeing the 4-4 split up. 4 is Emperor energy. It's all about structure, foundation, stability, and planning. And 4 is also death, which is Scorpio energy, which you're getting from the spider, which is all about transformation and a release. Okay, we have 13. Yeah, Scorpio energy, Moon, Mars. So Moon is Cancer, Pisces, Mars is Aries. And you're really getting with the number 4. So this is an ability to really connect to our emotions in a way that channels things or in an organized way. Because if our shadow and our subconscious is still hidden and we don't understand our triggers, we might be very reactive. We might be very aggressive. We might shut down. This is being assertive, being able to speak our truths and recognize our emotions, maybe where there's fears, maybe where there's deep feelings of things here that it might seem foreign to us, okay? Because I'm really getting like heavy shadow energy, Pluto energy here. But when it comes to our subconscious, like our feelings and being able to express or take action even on it, you know? Yeah, like take action on it. Okie dokie, Pluto. Yeah, I was feeling Pluto, I just said. So 64 is 11, right? No, 10. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I can't add. So 11. 11 is a master number. I thought we had another 11 here come through. There's a 10, which is all about endings. Yeah, here's 11. So we have 11, 11. You might be seeing a lot of 11, 11. That's a very spiritual number. Sometimes it could even signify coming into contact with a twin flame. If some of you guys resonate with that. Okay, Pluto. So Scorpio, this is really all about their shadows, like deep in the subconscious here, like being like really destructive in our world because it's really running the show. Something's really rooted here in our conditioning, our programming, and our beliefs from our parents, or just we came into this world with this storyline. Okay, we might feel that it's us. Wow. Okie dokie. So yeah, feeling unloved. There's another 11. Look how many 11. So 11 is divine inspiration, synchronicities, and the encouragement to keep going. This says feeling unloved, feeling unessential, feeling rejected, separation, indifference, feeling isolated, feeling abandoned. Type 2, the helper emotional center between giving and receiving. So 2 came up over here. Okay, so 2 is all about balance, which we're getting with the yin yang, which could really represent the masculine and feminine coming into balance, integrating shadow, you know, and choices, because our choices, if we're not conscious, then the shadows run the program, run the agenda. But if we're balanced and our shadows in the light, then we start to make conscious decisions. Something about you feeling rejected or separate right now from maybe someone, something, or someone around you, depending how this energy comes through here, okay? For you, defense mechanism 34, or the number 7, ego level. So we had a lot of 7s, chariot energy again. 7 is faith, wisdom, reflection, understanding. 7 is also about spirituality, intellect, and personal growth. Okay, so this says rationalization, logical justification, explanation, reasoning, idolization, sublimation, intellectualization. So this is being in the mind. You know, maybe being more in the mind than we are in the heart. There's a lot of like thought coming through here as well. So type 7, the enthusiast, thinking center between pleasure and pain. So we have the root chakra and we have the heart chakra. Okay, so the root could be fight or flight, you know, needing to feel safe. It could talk about addictions. It could talk about, as my email just confirms, so some of you guys might have certain addictive behaviors, you know, and it could be a thinking pattern here. Okay, and then the heart chakra, it kicks back to this Empress energy, which is all about unconditional love, self-worth with this Ace of Cups. Okay, so we have Jug, lighthearted, carefree time. Okay, and we have Hammock, taking vacation physically or mentally. Wow, so both of these is very light energy. Dagger, fear, worries, tense situations. Wow, okay. So look at this sword, kind of very similar, pointing down. Okay, this is a dagger, that's a sword. Fears, worries, tense situations. So this could be like a 9 swords type energy. Fox, shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. So the fox again, because we're not taking words so literally on these cards, it could definitely talk about career. It could talk about having strategy. You know, it's like a Seven Swords energy as well, because it could talk about deception and having to be honest and maybe being deceived. Okay, so we could be deceiving ourselves from our own subconscious here because of insecurities and guilt. And we have sunrise, new creative ideas, new ventures, and a new start. Look at the spider. Okay, so Leo energy with the beautiful sun. This is also masculine energy, which I'm getting from the Emperor, this Mars energy that's really pulling through. So Mars is the ruling planet for Aries, Scorpio. We have heavy Scorpio as well. But with all these fours, I'm seeing Aries, Emperor, divine masculine energy getting empowered here. Okay, so we have falseness with the cat. So cats are all about independence. Remember, we have sovereignty here. What was it that it said? The sovereign being? The sovereign, yeah. So that would be sort of this cat energy, you know, but the cat could certainly roam. It could have difficulty trusting. It could have its own, you know, sense of freedom, but it might be a false sense of freedom, because it comes as falseness. So it says marriage. Oh my goodness. So we might have a fear of commitment here, or a need to commit, but we feel very independent. And then talk to the moon, communicate. All this was about communication. Okay, this is very clear. And moon is talking about fears, and also moon does talk about emotions. And like I said, there's something about having to take action and speak on communication, or speak on truths here. Okay, so you can skip ahead if you want. Because I'm going to tap into this energy. It'll take me a little bit just to make sure I pick everything up before I start to channel. What's this? This 50 coin. Interesting. We will pull some tarot because I'm not sure what this is. Yeah, oh, I do know now. You know how they used to have like a 50 pence? I think it's called a 50 pence, or I don't know. But I know that there's like a 50-cent coin. Okay, it's like not a full dollar. And so I feel like it's talking like this, like it's half of something. It's not complete, or it's not whole, you know? So, yeah. Anyway, I just heard half-ass. There goes my email confirming me. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, pile number 1, so many cards, simple message, you know. Spirit is funny. Lay it all on me. I'm ready. I was really ready for like the biggest sort of thing here. And I mean, maybe this is a big thing for you, but to me, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to remove whatever I was about to editorialize. I will pull some tarot because I feel I'm missing something. We might get into it. This might be your energy, someone you're dealing with, person, place, or thing, up to you to attribute who it is. I'm going to read this as your energy, okay? You're in your mind, and your mind is your biggest challenge right now. You're really under one understanding, and it is really how you see yourself. And then when how you see yourself, it's determining how you're engaged in your world. For a lot of you guys, it's in relationship to another or a situation. Okay, a circumstance could be a love relationship, could be with your friends, just how you engage in the world, period. But I do feel like it could be impacting some big part of your world here, like in a negative way that you don't realize. Okay, because you're very fixated on one point of view or perspective that you have, or understanding that you have about who you are. It's not true, it's not true, it's not true. And it might feel very true, and that's legitimate. But the only reason it does is because we believe it. It's not just a thought, you know, because we all have thoughts. You know, oh, I like to punch that person in the face. Doesn't mean we do it. But when we believe something very true, it also doesn't make it real. But we're more connected to our beliefs. And so you have a very deep ingrained belief here that isn't doing you justice or service at all. It's impacting how you're engaging in the world, like I said. And I feel this is a negative sort of viewpoint of yourself. Whether you're aware of it or not, you could be the most confident, assertive person, feeling you're very independent and in control. I don't know. There's a big fat lie here. Okay. there's a false sense of maybe freedom or a false sense of independence or a false sense of self here that pulls through at the expense of what you can actually benefit here from. And so I feel for a lot of you guys, we're like taking a shortcut in some way. And it is because of the fact that we don't feel good enough or capable enough. And so we might be dressing this up and telling ourselves something else. Like, oh, that's beyond me. It's not going to be anything here that I can add a value or something like this. I don't know what the narration goes. It could be different for a lot of people. I don't think it's outright, oh, I suck. I'm not going to be good enough. I pass. No, I feel like it's, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but all I know is there's a half-assedness here. And so now I know why it's like, lay it on me, spirit. Because the last thing someone, I guess, with low self-esteem or low self-worth needs to hear is somebody sort of yelling at them, but I'm going to be yelling, and not necessarily yelling, but I'm giving it to you so that you can really listen to what I'm saying here, okay? Not Linda, but what Spirit's communicating. There's a half-assedness here. Half-assing it through life, I don't know. Half-assing it through this experience, half-assing something, you know? And this could be anytime we have that fear kick in, we half-ass it. And it's because we don't want to fail, because we already assume we've failed or we're not going to be good enough. And so we half-ass it. And half-assing things doesn't get us anywhere. In fact, I think what this is talking about is something pretty significant here. And it's calling you to action. It's calling you to break some form of conditioned belief programming that's really impacting you negatively. And you might be, this is the part that might be in the dark, is that you might have it thinking that it's so dressed up or covered up so well that you're the only one sort of, I don't know, shoving it in a way here that even you're tricking yourself in some way, or maybe you haven't connected to it. But if you do know of this, because you are self-aware, you might not realize that everybody around you can smell it from a mile away. And it don't smell good. It doesn't. It makes you look like a half-ass clown, okay? That's the words coming through here. Why? Is because there is this part of yourself here that is choosing to, I don't know, take the lazy way out, you know? And so this only shows and reflects back to other people like this arrogance of sorts, or like, I'm going to coast in some way. And of course, if we choose to coast, we could coast because we have free will to do so. But free will only happens when you're conscious. That's when you're truly free to say, I'm going to coast here and eat, you know, and potato chips all day on my couch. But when we're sleeping and we're really doing that because we feel bad or we're covering something up and we don't even realize why we're in bad habits, then it's a problem because you can't get out of this thing. And the only way to get out of this thing is to go through this thing. Okay, and so this is why it stinks. It doesn't stink that you're free, you're independent, or all these things you think you are. You're none of those things. You're being called to transform this part of you. Okay, because I feel like you have this stuck in the mind, and then I think you're sort of catering what you say and do in a way here that is sort of trying to dress something up here. And I think you're putting a lot of effort into that. And so you might say, well, I'm not half-assing and I'm putting a lot of effort into how this comes out or how I say or how I look. And it's like, it's very draining. You don't need to put effort in how you say and do. That's what's draining. There is no need to put in effort there. The effort needs to go into undoing the false self. And so I just heard falling on your sword, because there's a fine line between you achieving what I think here is really going to be a blessing for you, a blessing of an experience, and a downfall. And I think it's your downfall is like here, you know, and I'm not here to fear anybody, but it's our own downfall because we have a chance here to acknowledge and deal with this thing. And I feel like you're being called not only to speak some form of truth here, but take action on truth, because there's like a sleeping on yourself. And I feel like Spirit has been trying to guide you for some time here, trying to tell you this, trying to come through. And I don't know how it's coming through, dreams, messages, I don't know. But there's this big old shadow that's like wreaking havoc in your world here. And it doesn't smell good. And so when something doesn't smell good, no one wants to be around it, you know? And so we start to feel unloved, and we start to feel even more of that thing which we thought we were already, not good enough. Nobody wants to like me or stick around me, or I don't know, whatever it is here. And Spirit's really saying your dreams are closer than you think, because I feel like what you're really wanting is an experience here that you feel you're undeserving of in some way, and that it's not real for you because you have some form of something that is real to you, that you're incapable, or and I don't know, that you're the only person in the world that has this thing, an inability to be everything. It's like, no, everybody has the ultimate amount of potential to be their potential, you know? And so your potential is sitting somewhere, and you're keep running from your potential. I feel there is also this like energy of, sleeping on yourself and not wanting to deal or confront this thing. But I mean, if you're here, then you're looking and confronting this thing. So I don't know. It's definitely could be somebody around you. But I feel like why Spirit wants to sort of rescue you from this thing, because ignorance could be bliss. But I feel like this is like you really being in your mind here, having a lot of stress. Like there's a lot of stress and uncomfortable feeling, you know, feeling separate, feeling unloved, feeling, not good here at all, you know, and maybe rationalizing worked at some point in time. But I feel like whatever we're experiencing here, because I do feel for a lot of you guys, it's a certain situation, circumstance, relationship that's going on. And I feel like your same old way of coping is actually not going to work here. And this is what Spirit is talking about. There's this like default, a rationalization that we default into the mind story that helps cover things up again so we could keep on staying ignorant. Okay, but I feel like what Spirit's saying is this experience, whatever this might be, is an experience here for you to connect to your heart space, because I feel like there's bubbling emotions here that we're really disconnected from. And whether we think we're doing it on purpose or not, or we're not quite sure, Spirit is here to tell you, like the power is in your hands to recognize and understand that you have the ability, whether you believe you do or not is a different story, but you have the ability to tap into these emotions and to connect to these emotions and take action. Because something's requiring your action here. And I do feel like Spirit is saying it's just a matter of you coming into this realization. And this realization is always trying to come through you from Spirit. It's not that it's been blocked or removed from you or somewhere that you need to seek it. It's already being pushed through to you, but you're too clouded and too fearful and too full of insecurities and too full of a past history here to even see it. So we need to identify the belief and the cloudiness and all of those beliefs that we're carrying. And once we remove those beliefs and know that they're not true, they're all just figments of what someone's told us, or the inner critic has told me that I am, and that I started to believe that I am, and then my reality started to prove that, and then it fed back a mirror to me, and I believed it more. See, it's happening. Look, here's the mirror, here's the proof. It's like, no, it works from the inside out. So yes, the proof is there because you've been projecting this all your life. And once you change the inside, the outside starts to change. And it's not like an instant, although it can be. But first we need to deal with this belief, this insecurity, this guilt, this bag of shit energy, because it doesn't smell good. Okay, and I feel like there's something requiring you to commit to it. But why don't we commit to it? I don't know. It says here marriage, okay? It doesn't have to be. I just feel like there's this level of commitment that like pushes you towards a greater potential of yourself, a bigger version of you, a greater version, a more enlightened version, I don't know, a better version. And we're sleeping on it and saying, you don't know, but you think you know. That's the worst kind of arrogance, and this is the worst kind of sort of position to be in, because this isn't smart at all. Smartest person's going to know that they are maybe missing something, that there's probably certain ways of being that they are, that's like, it needs to be questioned, you know? Despite what they're seeing out there, it's like, what within myself maybe am I not seeing or understanding that they don't know everything, you know? But I feel like here it's like we already just assume we know, and then all of a sudden we're acting in the world like it's true. That's arrogance. And that's fine if we want to be arrogant, but I feel what Spirit is saying is that this arrogance is what's creating this suffering. Because see how this conundrum happens? It's like if we're arrogant and we have this confidence, it's really us covering up this opposite flip. Yeah, and that's why we see the coin. The flip side of the coin. One side is the arrogance, the other side's the insecurity. So the more I feel as though I'm independent, confident, and I don't know, running this sort of big me, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. On the flip side of that is like a fragile person here, full of insecurity, full of shame, incapable, a little lazy, not doing it, on auto program, waiting around for something to come to me or for it to happen, but taking a shortcut in some way. Arrogance, arrogance, arrogance. And that's not going to get you anything. And so there's a dance to life here. And the dance to life here is beautiful. And it's available to you. And it might be very foreign to you. And so there is something requiring you to move. And we have two modes of transport here. You know, we have the bike and the car. But either of these have movement. And so I don't know how to express this energy that I'm feeling, but I feel like Spirit is really talking about there being I don't know. We'll see with the tarot, but something about movement here, definitely about integration of shadow and coming into balance with the masculine and the feminine. The bike is in the light. Okay, bikes have a lot of hard work, right? Because we got to pedal. We could tire ourselves out. And in the dark, we have the car. And the car is sort of automatic, or, you know, we put gas in there and then it's sort of, we don't have to work as hard. Yeah, so the energy I'm getting here, which I did tap into a little bit, it could be just indicating that in which I was saying you're busy working on covering up or masquerading that in which you're wanting people to see the strong you, the arrogant you, or the whatever you, confident you, or the version of you that you're investing so much time. Like there's burning and turning. How can I say this? How can I do this? How can I, like, that's really tiring. Meanwhile, it's like you could go to the source of the Pluto. And when you deal with the source of the Pluto, it's like you're kind of more liberated and you're more free, because the car, it doesn't take any sort of sweat equity. You just turn it on and press the pedal, you know, whereas the bike is sweat equity here. We're like, you're like constantly burning and turning, although it does move as well. So you feel like, well, I'm moving. And I guess both of these will kind of lead you to the same place, is what Spirit's telling you, but one gets you there a lot faster. And so I feel like there's something here that's being meant for you, okay? Whatever this thing is here. It's meant for you. I think it is. We felt star here when I laid the cards. I don't remember which one it was, but yeah, it was 8. Okay. And it requires courage and strength. It's your destined sort of path, partner, job, creative project. I don't know what this thing is requiring of you. I feel it's written in the stars for you, and eventually you get there, because I really feel like your spirit is always on an evolution path. Now, whether you get there in this lifetime or not, that's the question, because the bike might show up when the concert ended, when the party's over. I'm here. It's like, yeah, but it's over, you know? And even though there's no timeline, it's like you still sort of get there, because you're destined to get there when you get there. But I feel like Spirit is really saying if you go to the root of the Pluto and deal with the shadow, it's like you're going to get there a lot faster. You're going to deal with what you're going to have to deal with anyway. You're just sort of putting more sweat equity and burning and turning just to get there. And it's like, no, just go straight to deal with the thing, and then you'll get there. And then you're ready for the next thing and the next thing. And there you go, ascending, growing, creating bigger, better things, rather than convincing yourself, you know, that you're doing more. But it's like, yeah, you're doing more, but it's not going, it doesn't have to be that much activity. You know, we don't got to do 50 things to get to one place. If there's a button to do it just one way, then, you know, why wouldn't we choose this one way, unless we get in our own way with a whole bunch of reasons why, or we want busy work or some form of justification. We might have a really insecurity here or some form of trap that makes us feel like I have to be deserving of it. And so I got to do this series of steps. That's a belief. I have to prove to myself first, or I don't know, whatever's going on in the mind here. It's not required. Wipe it away. That's just a belief that I got to be in a position here to do that and this, and I got to do that and do that. Like, no. Spirit is saying it's already here. The time is now. The time is now, not in the future. In the future, you burned and turned and burned and turned. You missed the boat, but yeah, you got there. So there's no need to suffer. There's no need to feel separate. There's no need to do any of this stuff, to sit in our 9 swords. And we might feel like we really don't trust ourselves. And we might be really creating this strategy that we're really clinging to, that feels like it protects us. It makes us feel sort of free or independent or more in control. But really all it does is people don't really trust. And it creates that in which we don't want to feel separate. If you want to feel love, then we wouldn't make people feel like we're lying or withholding, right? We would be open. And this isn't very open energy. This is more self-serving, tricking, strategizing. How can I? And then what? And then other people are like, gee, pile number 1 is a little bit tricky here. So there's a need to communicate. And this isn't communicating from the stealth-like thought brain that tries to look in a certain way. This communication is coming from the emotional body. But the emotions need to be looked at because there's a lot going on in the shadow and they need to be integrated. And so there's pain here. There's beliefs here. And they're really been ingrained in who we think we are, which is really, really a low self-worth and a lack of confidence and a belief system that we can't do it, or we won't achieve it, we can't accomplish it, we can't take action on it, we won't succeed, and all of that sort of self-talk. And I feel like there's something that you really, really desire. And I feel like there's something here that talks about, like Empress, which is abundance, and the heart here, which is giving and receiving unconditional love of whatever this project, person, place, or thing is, that is really in line with your, again, destined future, something you really would want. That is right here, right now. And we're too busy doing something else that is actually just pedaling and stinking up the place. So let's wrap up this reading. Spirit, lay it all on me. I am ready. Pile 1's ready. What is this? Steaming bag of poop. The Tower in reverse. We're preventing what is unsustainable here. Okay, and look. Sorry, I'm going to pull these while I'm here. Okay, now I've never read this like this, although this is definitely how this is coming through. This tower. This is the body. The body came through one of these cards here as well. I don't know which one it was, okay? Your body. This is your crown. This is that hangman, that enlightened, that working with the divine message from spirit. So look at this crown exploding. It's being struck by lightning. It's information from the divine. The crown opens, and look at these 2 people flying. The unconscious and the conscious. And when the unconscious and the conscious come together, we have a whole shift of what we used to think and believe, and it's like a huge paradigm shift. And all the false self, the stories, the beliefs, the shame, the guilt, the insecurity, all falls away because we can't build stability. We can't commit. We can't be effective. We can't be free with a tower that's going to fall at any moment. It's a false structure. I mean, it exists, but it's false because who can do anything within this structure? It's this bag of shit because really at the end of the day, it's like people are going to avoid going in there. They know it's faulty. They know they can't build with it. They know if they walk in there anytime it could crumble. It's fragile. So it's like the side of the coin that we thought we were projecting out there. A nice, beautiful, solid, I don't know, tower is actually looked at as this thing that's about to fall, and we're keeping it up. Pedaling, 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 keeping it up, keeping it up. Look at this beautiful structure. Look at how stable it is. Meanwhile, it's like, no, look at your unconscious, conscious self and let it collide. And you will free yourself of all those mental constructs, because the divine is striking your crown chakra with this information, especially if you're here listening to this. Okay, now again, I don't know if this is you or someone with you or like you, but when it's in the shadow, we tend to say it's someone else, It's someone else. That's not me. Especially in this, we're trying to project one side of the coin. Meanwhile, this is what's brewing on the inside. Low self-esteem and insecurity, and not going after it, and sleeping on our dreams, letting it pass up, uncommitted, false sense of independence. And how we know that this might be a challenge is because we're so stuck to a sense of independence and freedom and autonomy in an unhealthy way that doesn't know how to engage in the world. Because we can be in relationship and commit to things without being controlled or tied down. If we believe that that is the only way, then we have a shadow that's really sort of projecting this fear. So we're upkeeping this thing, okay, that's going to blow over at any moment. Yeah, 4 wands. I need to commit, and we can't lay the roots. We can't be stable. This structure cannot be stable, can't be grounded. And this is all about this balance I talk about. This is the masculine and feminine coming together, masculine and feminine coming together into union. This is an aspect of yourself, okay, in order for you to work in a relationship, because this is also the marriage card coming together. This is also my 1111, which twin flame, which came through here a lot of the numbers were 1111. So if you subscribe to that label, you don't have to. This could just be union with self. We can't commit, we can't be stable, we can't get grounded, we can't come together at all, because there's this upkeeping of the false self, 7 wands. So this is the type of energy here, is totally this. Okay, lighthearted, carefree time, taking a vacation physically or mentally. It's like checked out. This is like the card of something to fight for, conviction. Like I have so much conviction. I'm fighting for what I believe in. Even if I'm going against everyone else, it's like I'm so true to what I know to be true. And I will stand and fight for that perspective or that position. And I feel like you have a position and a perspective here. And your position and your perspective is like giving up on yourself. It's like not even fighting for anything of value, or it's fighting to upkeep something here that's about to fall down. Yeah, the 3 of Cups in reverse. So this is the card of the network of people celebrating. This is the opposite of this energy here. Sorry, this is that. Okay, so it's like feeling unloved, not welcome, not celebrated, isolated, abandoned. We can't celebrate. We can't be, ourselves and be welcomed and loved in a way here, with people. This is the relationship card. Not necessarily like a one-on-one romance, but the relationships. And it's also, it could be we use relationships and people in a way here that keeps things superficial, where we can't get deep enough because we're blocking emotions. And so we like to over socialize, over party, or we could be very removed, feeling like a loner here, isolated. Or we could do both, but never really feel welcomed or feel like we've met our people or people understand us. This is our community. This is being welcomed by our community of people, finding the right soul tribe, the right friend groups. And so we might have friend groups around us, but I don't think these friend groups are solid, or we might have none. I don't know, but I feel like there's something here that's very false and it doesn't feel good. And we might only know this feeling and think that this is the way it has to be, and that this feeling is authentic, or this feeling is true, and any other feeling makes me feel trapped. I don't know, but there's some falseness here and false sense of independence. And this is all about working with others and coming together with others. And that's the opposite of like doing things on my own. completely removed, completely feeling like I'm free and independent. It's like, no, it's isolated and removed. It's not working with your agency to connect with people and in a relationship. And I do feel this is about like relationship with others. And so we might even numb ourselves, because this in the reverse is like all the vices, you know, over drinking, over partying, over isolated. But it's not a good energy here. There's the King of Pentacles. This, the commitment card. So this king is the king that can build a future that's stable, grounded, reliable, committed. And we might have the idea that's like, I have to have all these resources in place, or have this misconception belief. I don't know, house, car, I don't know, finances, whatever this thing is, you know. And Spirit is really saying that the richest resource here is going to come from a sense of self, a groundedness, a reliability. Right now, you don't seem very reliable. I don't think people can rely on you, because you seem really shady here and sort of flighty and uncommitted. And there's like, I don't know if you were like this or like this, but either way, this is what's available to you. And I feel like when people sort of, this comes through very strong, okay? Don't be offended. But when people around you, it's like this. It's like, ew, like this smells like danger, or this smells like it's going to not be good if I step a foot into this tower or come into the vicinity of pile one, because pile one isn't authentic. Pile one is not taking action on truth. Pile one is unstable, or it's ungrounded. There's something unreliable here that is smelling, and it's not good. Like, I don't know what else to use, but not good. And Spirit keeps saying, like, we don't need a whole bag of money, but we don't need to be the bag of shit, you know? We just need to have confidence in our own self. And I feel like we don't have this. So how do we get this? It doesn't just fall from the sky. It's already within us. Once we remove what's not us, we gotta let what's not us fall away. And Spirit wants to crack open your crown chakra so you see the truth, that you are this beautiful energy of confidence and freedom and reliable energy. You already are that. But you're burning and turning in what you're not, upkeeping some side of the coin, thinking that it's painting some form of picture, because in your mind, which by the way is just a mind, it's not reality. You have a different story going on, a different belief, a different programming, something that was ingrained through your upbringing, telling you that you got to do this, you got to be that, you got to have this, you got to have that. And you're like, screw it, I'm just going to sit here and drink myself into a stoop, or sit here and I don't know. But your dreams are closer than you think. And I feel like your dream requires you to be in a committed energy, reliable. That's it. Not trying to outsmart, outwit, outplay. What is this Survivor thing, you know? There's no strategy involved here. This doesn't take strategy at all. And your strategy up until this point was like, I'll just sort of half-ass it, or I'll like, I don't know, put feelers in place, and then I'll like do 50% here or something like this. And so I feel like Spirit is talking about the sun rising here only when we finally allow and see the light, when we let the divine crack open our crown chakra here, and when we actually have this realization, when we see the truth, like really the truth, you know, not what we think, not our beliefs. Everybody has beliefs. That doesn't make it true, you know? I could believe I'm a unicorn. It doesn't mean that that's what you're going to see about me, right? So whatever beliefs you have are actually untrue. There is the truth with a capital T that Spirit is trying to deliver to you. And that is your truest potential. That's already there. And when you see this, I feel like Spirit is saying we have a fresh start here, a beginning at happiness, joy, clarity, sunlight energy. Okay, and sunlight energy is father energy, is like creative energy. We could create something beautiful, magical. And if we're not in sunlight energy, we're in the dark, we're in Pluto. We're in anxiety, we're in fear, we're in worries, tense situations, backstabbing, conniving, peddling, sweating, thinking, trying to, I don't know, come up with, think about, manipulate, and stinking up the world. So, you don't want to stink up the world? Clean up your own backyard. Pile number 1, this is your reading. I hope this helped you, and I love you so much. I will see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 2. Bitch, what now? So, brave souls. I take my readings very, very seriously. You know, this sounds very like, not serious, but trust me, this is very, very serious. Okay. This might not be everybody's reading. Like I mentioned in the intro, I do suggest you go back to the intro, listen to that. I was really getting strong energy for all the piles. Okay. This one was more of like, so done. Like, I'll do whatever. I don't care. Like, what now though? Like, seriously, like, can I just, have something good here? But whatever. It's bad. Lay it on me. Don't care. Like, completely just don't care type energy. It's like, this is totally what I'm getting here, And it's like, okay, I already know that it's always something more that's just adding to your pile of things. That's just like, okay, it is what it is, That's the energy I'm really getting from this. So let's see. Beautiful angels, I have not looked at these. Okay, I do suggest if you are working on your intuition, which most of us are, that you sit through this card layout. What you'll see, feel, or hear to determine whether this pile makes sense for you. Okay, if you are in tune with your intuition, you can go straight away to the channeled message to tap into that reading. Now, this could be your energy, someone around you, person, place, or things. Up to you to sort of determine what's what. Okay, I'm just reading cards and energy. If there's multiple energies, I will do my best to let you know how many I see there and differentiate between the two, but it's up to you to sort of attribute who is what. Okay, let's take a look. Non-commitment. It's so funny. Pile 1 was all about commitment. Anyway, 19, sun energy, Leo energy, very strong. There goes my email. So sun energy is all about enlightenment, consciousness. Okay, but 1910, this is completion, ends of cycle. This is what it's feeling as, like it's over, transformation, like something's transformed, but I feel like it's already over in some capacity. This is what I feel like. Something's over. Look at 2 lions. Oh my goodness, Leo energy. This is masculine, feminine. They're walking together here. That's cute. So this could be talking about ego. Okay, it could be talking about our confidence. Could be talking about our animal instinct, being brave. It could be talking about partnership here within ourselves, our masculine or feminine. Okay, what do we have here? Oh my goodness, somebody walking down like a back lane of sorts that looks absolutely trashy. That's what it looks like, and we see shadow, and this person has a cane. So canes can talk about going slowly, being wounded. I feel like there's something wounded here, because I do feel like it's like the energy, like I talked about, like I'm just sort of done here. I don't know, something wounded you, something slow. You're walking slower potentially, and look at this havoc. It's like, I'm done. Look at this havoc, and this empty chair can talk about someone leaving our life or us leaving someone's life. Someone not showing up. Maybe there was a need for structure. Maybe there was a need for commitment. Maybe there was a need for someone to take ownership, accountability, and they didn't show up. Wow. Oh my goodness. Yeah, look at this. This is blazing. This whole city's on fire. We have trash. We have fire. We have shadow. Oh my goodness. Yeah, look at this person. So she has a lute. What are those things called? It's not a harp. A lure? Is it a lyra? No, I don't know what they're called, those magical harps. And she's sitting here, and it looks like she has a blindfold on, but she's playing pretty music. And just kind of sitting there. What is that, on top of a globe of sorts? Blindfolded, playing music. Okay, well, music can talk about our own self-expression. Oh my goodness. This doesn't look good. So this looks like two people sort of fighting, like getting aggressive or physical, you know? I'm not talking about like words. I'm talking about like physical violence. I don't condone violence at all. This energy comes through very pointed and direct in order for me to channel the message. Okay. If you're offended by this, then I will never be your channel message here. You can go, okay, not saying anyone should put up with violence, but if this triggers you, you still have healing to do. Okay, that has nothing to do with me or this message at all. That has to do with you and the divine, you and your healing. So I just want to make that clear. Maybe not you, maybe someone else. But anyway, there's these two people and they're going at it. Doesn't look pleasant at all. So we have these speed bumps. Caution, speed bumps ahead. So this is the what's it called? The intuitive oracle. And we're supposed to look at this and see what kind of comes through here. And then we'll look at the back and look at the words. So we see what looks like a hierophant, which is definitely this commitment energy. Hierophant, all about a higher level of commitment and understanding. And we see this beautiful maiden. Beautiful maiden and this hierophant. And she has these beautiful pink flowers. It says the desirable 26. Or the number 8, affirmation, I accept my desires as pure expression of my essential self. Oh my goodness. Remember I was talking about your expression? Pile 1 was talking about something desiring, that they were desiring. Let's talk about desirable. This is interesting. There might be a connection between 1 and 2. Okay, I don't know if it resonates for you. Penguin, achieve harmony. So penguins in this energy, I'm picking up the black and the white, the shadow and the light side. And penguins don't fly, you know, it's a bird, but they're sort of land bound, if you will, and they wobble here. So we have the cane, troubles walking. So if you hear a dog barking, we have a deer, open your heart power. Oh my goodness. So this deer has antlers, and that's masculine energy. Okay, I was getting Aries from the chair. I'm also getting Aries from this deer. Sorry if you hear barking. So Aries is divine masculine energy here. We have the witch, experimentation, and rebellion. Oh my goodness, I'm getting a lot of Virgo energy from all of this wheat. The witch, experimentation, and rebellion. My goodness, the smith, overthinking and taking action. So the smith creates something. It forges something, taking action. There's a hammer here. Okay, we have the mixology. This is like temperance energy, but again, it's like making something. Temperance, alchemy. I'm feeling very heavy alchemy here. Mixologist, okay. It says bitters and mustache wax. And we see a cloud of smoke, which looks kind of like a tree, but it's giving off this, a sonic boom just went off. You know, something destructive just sort of went off. Boom. Big cloud plume. Oh my goodness. Look at that thing again. What is that thing, you guys? Leave it in the comments. A lyre? A lyra? No. You know what I'm talking about, those magical harps. It looks like it. Although this looks like it, this might be an actual harp. So number 20 or the number 2, it says, I love you. These are powerful words. Oh my goodness. All right. But they're just words nonetheless. And love is an action, not necessarily words, you know? Yeah. These are powerful words. Wowzers. Separation. My goodness. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. So look at this energy, you guys. Oh, my goodness. It doesn't matter how much I avoid these love readings. They somehow haunt this channel, don't they? Look at this body language here, okay? She's reaching out to this Hierophant here. And here, can you guys see? Yeah. And then here she's reaching out to this Knight. You know, here he's holding her hand. He has his heart on his hand on his chest. But she's reaching out in both regards here. I don't know, to her beloved. Maybe she's reaching out to commitment. Achieve harmony. Separation. Okay. Rejection. Through the sting of being left out, we discover our own inner worth. Denial, dismissal, and exclusion. Oh, wow. Depression. This too shall pass. Every storm brings a rainbow. Sadness, hopelessness, and despair. My goodness, you guys. What sort of readings are these, Spirit? Heart chakra number 4. Beautiful. This is the I love yous, but felt in the chakra system. This is unconditional love, being able to receive and give from a place of actual love, not egoic love, not transactional. Okay, the frequency of heart chakra, the green flower of love, life, supports our capacity to love deeply and unconditionally. Its healing properties harmonize the body and the mind. Harmony, overthinking, mind. Okay. Here we have full moon with forgiveness. Oh my goodness. So full moon. Look how big this moon is. Normally I'd read moon like what's hidden, you know, in the subconscious, blah, blah, blah. They're not here. Look how big this moon is. Something's being reflected back to us. We're seeing something here. Interesting. Okay, so forgiveness. I mean, if there was a separation, we see like, oh my goodness, Spirit, what are we communicating here? I don't want to communicate any of this stuff. Take the lead. That's what this is. And look, open your heart power, heart chakra. Take the lead. The moon's wisdom. Yeah, remember I was telling you the moon here. Wasn't getting hidden shadows. I was seeing something. The moon's wisdom, though. The moon's wisdom. The intuition. What we don't see, we act upon, but it's knowledge. It's clear. It's clearer than reality. In fact, we're seeing clearer in the moonlight than we are in the sunlight. Wow. This is intense. Make believe. Look at seeing. And again, it's like this make believe is we don't see it with our eyes, and make believe is like we have to pretend that it exists. But that's what this moon energy is like, because in moonlight, it's not really what's happening, but in this case, it feels like it's really what's happening, if that makes any sense. This is very fascinating. We have 17, Aquarius energy, star energy. That's all about healing. Clouds, confusion, rats about this. It could be this overthinking, you know, or something got eroded. It could be your mind constantly on replay. It could talk about anxieties, destructive tendencies. Seeing that. I don't feel this is connected. I feel it's like seeing that. Oh my goodness. Venus, Jupiter, 31 are the number 4. 4 is all about structure. Again, this Emperor energy. Venus is all about love. The planet of love. This is almost giving me like fairy tale love with Venus, Jupiter, you know, like love conquers all. When we know like words are just words, you know. But in this case, is like, yeah, like look, Empress energy too, which is all about unconditional love. And then we have 1, which is all about new beginnings. It's also Magician energy, which is as above, so below, bringing from the unmanifest into the manifest. Oh my goodness, you guys, what is going on? Disputes. So we have separation here, and we have breakup. Confrontation. Villain role. Quarrel. Divergency. Make a choice. 27 or the number 9. So 9 is all about fruition, completion, fulfillment. 9 is also the Hermit, which is knowing thyself, going within, which is Virgo energy, and it's also moon energy, Cancer, Pisces. The Peacemaker, instinctive center between forgetting and asserting oneself. Hypercreativity, 83, 4 and 2, accepting one's emotions, existing by one's self. Oh my goodness, what did it say here? In this one, we discover our own inner worth. Existing by oneself, originality, resourceful, standing out, self-knowledge. Type 2, the helper, emotional center between giving and receiving. Angel, spiritual guidance, protection from harm. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And horse, short journey. So this is about liberation, being empowered, freedom, short journey. Okay, flowers, happiness. Oh my goodness, beautiful flowers. I see a bird there too. Bluebird. All right, messenger. So some form of communication being delivered here, information. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then player hoe. Oh my goodness, player hoe. I don't use words like that, you guys, but it's definitely coming through with an energy that we're going to be channeling right about now. So you can go skip ahead, okay? I do trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. I never know what I'm going to see here. This message is coming through quite clear. We don't take words literally. We're just channeling energy here. If it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate, okay? So, oopsie. Pile number 2, my goodness, Spirit is very funny in this channel. I do feel like a lot of you guys might be connected somehow to pile 1. I could be reading for divine counterparts. It's not always this way on my channel. We could be looking at a divine masculine, divine feminine. I'm not talking gender. If you're threatened or triggered by gender, then probably not your reader. Okay? Don't care. So what we're looking at here is an energy of what has happened, and I don't think what has happened here is good, although very good. Okay, so it's like a silver lining here, and it's challenging. I'm going to read this as your energy, beautiful angel. Okay, although you could flip it, and you don't even have to connect with 1. This could just be you. There's been a confrontation, something not good with this dispute and this, I don't know, physical alteration of sorts. I feel like Spirit's really coming through with this partnership. I do feel for a lot of you guys, this is your intimate partner, okay? It could be a very, very close friend too. Take it as it resonates for you. I feel like something's happened that has changed the chemistry of this whole dynamic for the better. And I think what the for the better is that you are learning about your own independence. You're freeing yourself from any person, place, or thing that might have been holding you back. Okay, but it's really yourself holding yourself back in some way. I think we have a lot of wounds here. And I feel like we are in an energy of fuck it. You know, like really acceptance. And I feel like it's potentially creating this with this rebellion. It's like, I don't know, it's like doing this in face, like it's reverting on itself in some way, where now we're really pulling towards us what's real. We're no longer in any sort of cloudiness. And the paradoxical thing here, which we know is always spiritual when it's paradoxical, always, is because we're in the moonlight, understanding very clearly. And normally the moonlight is like confusion. We're seeing things in the moonlight that, you know, could be fearful or whatever. And it's like, no, I'm in my fears and I'm standing in my shadow. And I see very clearly. And I feel like we're seeing through all the things we might have not have been seeing before. Because I do feel like whoever you are dealing with here, you guys, is most likely somebody who didn't treat you well. However you want to spin it, whether they were trauma, or whether they had shadow, or whether they had fears, whether they were pile one, I don't know. I do feel for a lot of you guys, you might have been dealing with someone with pile one. You know, maybe someone who did not want to commit. Somebody who was, I don't know, prioritizing other things, treating you like not good. And I feel like there might have been a need for this person to do whatever they were needing, however they were needing, because I feel like a relationship or a dynamic would require two people to sort of own up to their own shit. Okay, and so this person, I do feel, is owning up to something. I don't know what it is, okay? And I'm not diving into that. That's not what this reading is about. But I do feel like they're coming forward with some form of communication message here, accepting something. I don't know. Maybe they're accepting accountability. I don't know. That would be a big pill for you to swallow, because you're over here saying, I don't care and it doesn't matter anymore. Something can't be put back together. It's completely burnt. It's completely infaced on itself, you know? Poof. I feel like you might have been very loyal towards whoever this was. And I feel like what Spirit is really showing is this enlightenment and this clarity that you're having, whether it be with your eyes open or closed, whether it be on the daytime sunlight or the moonlight at night. It is very clear to you that you're seeing through the rat, if you will. And the rat is an energy here that was creating all of the conflict. It could have been eroding your self-confidence. It could have been eroding your time. It could have been eroding, I don't know, a lot of things here. And I feel like you're empowered here to take action, to forge your way, to create something different for yourself here as a result of this understanding. And I don't want the wrong person wandering over here who's saying, yeah, they got to come correctly, thinking that they are learnt this lesson. This is about someone who has truly done a lot of shadow work, has transmuted ego, and is in unconditional love, and says, I am sending the most unconditional love to this person, but I will not ever settle ever again. You know? And so this is a very healthy understanding of what love is and what love isn't, and what supports this person and what doesn't, and what slows this person down and harms this person and what doesn't, and what's authentically true to this person and what isn't, and who stands up and supports this person and who does not. And I feel like it comes with a lot of going through feeling rejected, depressed, uncertain, unclear, self-loathing potentially at some points, and then discovering and finding ourselves in this journey that, wow, I have a big heart. Wow, my music is the true authentic expression of me that's full of love and light. And I can create my future here because I have the right tools now, and I have the power over who I let in and who I don't. And all I want is happiness. And I could clearly see shadow from light. And it's okay that there's shadow, because not everything needs to be love and light. In order for me to enjoy the light, I need to know what the shadow is. Because I was dealing with someone here with a lot of shadow, which has brought out your shadow. And so this is a blessing. Like I said, it's a silver lining, okay? That hasn't come easy. And I feel like there is a lot of love here, but it's not enough. And that words aren't enough. And that love isn't just a feeling. And love isn't just words. That love is also wrapped up in action and doing. And I feel like whoever you're dealing with was potentially not taking action. was non-committal in some capacity. There might have been a longing and a strong desire. And I feel like you were loyal alongside this person, despite all of this not good energy at all. And this person was fighting, combative, disrespectful, and ignorant, and had low self-knowledge. And I feel like you've had to accept yourself, be resourceful, walk blind, see in the dark, understand the parts of this dynamic that were corrosive, not healthy, and not conducive to your happiness. And I feel like the big one here, okay, is by you finally forgiving whatever has happened, like, I mean, truly, allows you to take the lead in your life, to make decisions completely void of feeling pressure, guilt, and need to appease someone else and let them sort of be loved in whatever energy they're in, and have absolutely no hate, no anger, no nothing. This is an energy of complete surrender, but through the heart, because there's love and forgiveness here. And this is what allows there to be an empowered energy, not defeated and white flag. Although I was getting like this energy at the beginning when I said, I was like, what now? Like, there's nothing here now that's going to surprise me, you know? Because it's just like what, everything's already sort of happened. I'm at the end of my rope. And I feel like the end of the rope here is like, no, there's not even a rope here. It's like we've shipped that off. And our heart is completely open. And so when this person comes, because this person's coming, it's not, I've already blocked you and I'm none of that. There's something unfolding here and I don't know what it is. And we're going to see tarot if we can get a sneaky peek. But whatever this is completely from the heart space. Achieving something that's harmony, which means it is in line with happiness, love, union, expansive. It's not, you know, this conflict. It's harmonious, meaning there's two things that come together harmoniously that work. It's not oil and vinegar. Harmony is two chemicals that come together to create synergy with this mixologist, okay, and even the smith to forge something here. And I think what we're forging, because the smith deals with very solid sort of metals, it's something that will stand the test of time. Through the alchemy here of some energy. Now, this can literally mean my dynamic now with this person, which, by the way, doesn't have to be romantic at all. Okay, because I don't hear this person beat me up and now I'm living in a women's shelter. Okay, so like not to be mean, but that's not what I'm even talking about here. This most likely is not even your reading. It's not even what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about something completely different. If that's where you're at, then you're completely wandering in the moonlight and not in the moonlight that's seeing through anything here, okay? I'm talking about there being a divinely guided lesson of sorts that has been a journey. You'd know it's not, oh, this is an experience that I had, that I went through. This is like, I couldn't even write a book about this and explain this journey of this karmic experience. And I know that I was being shown something. And it's finally over. I finally know how to love unconditionally. And what it is when I learned how to love unconditionally myself, I was capable of all sorts of things that I wasn't in the past. Forgiveness of everyone and everything. And identifying that forgiveness means respecting myself, what I'm willing to and what I'm not willing to deal with and involve myself with, who I'm loyal to and who I'm not, you know? Yeah. So, interesting. Very interesting. And I think this slowed you down, you know? It really slowed you down. It took a big part of you. I'm getting like 9 wands, wounded warrior. Something really took a part of you, you know? And it's like coping and dealing with that part of you that it took actually is like, it's okay because I found a bigger part of myself, you know? And this part of yourself is like the parts that you weren't connecting with in the past that you could finally see and work with, you know? And it's a part of your authentic self. It's the love of self. It's accepting yourself, and that someone else's rejection of you or treatment of you or whatever of you has nothing to do with you at all, at all, at all. So spirits, clear and concise message for pile number 2. What is this message about for pile 2 that we're tapped into here? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 2. Please protect me and the viewer. And please help me to channel this message in a way pile 2 will understand. Thank you so much. Look at that. 9 of Pentacles. I don't read bottom of the deck reverse. So you're no longer willing to commit to anything or anyone here other than yourself. And I think it's in a very healthy way. It's your freedom, your independence, which is so interesting because I found pile 1 was looking for freedom and independence. And I think you found your freedom and your independence. This is the card of confidence, independence, standing on our own, not needing anyone or anything to feel free and secure. And there you are. Beautiful angel. 9 of Pentacles. Queen of Swords. I can now see. I see through the dark. I see through the daylight. I now understand. And I know boundaries. Healthy. Okay, this is walking, talking our truth through experience. Not being pulled by emotions. The Queen of Swords is very logical. Okay, but she doesn't make decisions here that are not fair. She's very fair. But she's in control of her emotions. And she could cut people out very easily. Page of Wands. So I feel like you're dealing with somebody here who, like I said, was a buck late and a day late and a buck short, you know, page energy. Someone who could have been quite immature, or someone who was sleeping on communicating something or taking action on something here or exploring something here. Because I feel like, well, the Page of Wands talks about communication. We have the messenger here. Something was blocked. Okay, something was blocked with this person that you were dealing with or this situation. And we're seeing and understanding something about this. And there's the Emperor. So this page that's blocked here is understood by this Queen of Swords. By the way, this is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and this is Aries. She's saying it's Emperor or nothing, you know, and I feel it's reasonable. She's saying, I need order, I need structure, I need a divine masculine who's going to be in his full power. I'm no longer messing around here with, I don't know, players, immaturity, people who are blocked in communication, people who, you know, are not, I don't know, exploring or taking a chance on learning because their ego or their pride might get in the way. She sees something here and she doesn't even need it. She's just calling out what is. And she feels empowered here with this Emperor because this is this horse energy I was tapping into, empowerment. 7 Pentacles. So this is putting in the time, the energy, and the effort and the dedication to something for something to thrive. She was giving and investing, I feel here, trying to help an Emperor, create an Emperor. And I feel like whatever happened here went up in flames or went up in smoke. But Spirit is talking about her efforts not being in vain. The seed was planted, the effort was done. Whatever she invested in here in this person, because I do feel it is a person here, creating or helping, supporting, or being loyal to or investing in an Emperor, has created an Emperor. Whether he's an Emperor today or will be an Emperor in the future, It's through her generosity and her efforts and her dedication to assist this emperor see the light. And so that's enough for her, you know? She doesn't need this emperor to do anything for her. But I feel like maybe she feels like her efforts were in vain, or like whatever she invested in here was for nothing. She didn't see the results of anything. But now it's like she knows and she understands. And the Fool in reverse. So there was something about not exploring, not taking a chance, you know? And so if this emperor didn't take a chance on her, she's like, well, obviously I'm not good enough, you know? Or I feel left out here with this rejection. It's like, no, you're not left out. You're dealing with somebody here who is blocked. That's it. Yeah, 8 of Pentacles. So this is like, feels very one-sided and giving up. And this is like day in, day out effort and dedication, putting in the work, the time, the effort. So let's see, what is Spirit talking about here, this 4th card? We see the Death, which is the transformation, the release, and we see a 10 Pentacles, which is this commitment card, but this is non-commitment. This is a future stability, a legacy. Scorpio energy. And under that's the 4 Wands. My goodness, you guys got to go check out pile number 1. Spirit is hilarious. So 4 Wands is my 1111, which is the card of commitment, marriage, union, coming together, balance. Okay, it's our soul tribe. It's masculine, feminine coming together. This reading is for specific people who know what's going to resonate for them. You have somebody here who is definitely not in any energy that you're ever going to put up with ever again. I feel like there's been a massive transformation from this blocked whatever you were dealing with person to this divine masculine energy who wants to come in with communication. And he's coming in saying, I want to work on this future. I want to work on this thing that's exploded here. And it was all created from a lack of my commitment to you. I wasn't committed. I wasn't loyal to you. I wasn't dedicated to you. I didn't provide you with any security. So this family type structure would require me to be reliable, committed, dedicated. And this is what this card is. This is the card of dedication, the effort, the energy. And in order to be in this energy, this divine masculine would have to release everything that doesn't work, would have to massively transform himself. And the divine feminine would have to massively transform herself as well from someone here who felt rejected, depressed, clingy, needy, whatever she was here. Okay, and this isn't saying because you're clingy, needy, depressed, and rejected that you deserve to be treated this way. No, if that's what you're taking away from this, then you're still asleep. No. Okay, no. That's not what this is saying at all. At all. You're just completely in the dark and confused, and that's your situation, and that's different. I'm not invalidating your situation. Sure, you have a situation, So if this threatens your situation or diminishes your situation, then you have a trigger there that is created by your own insecurity of something that's telling yourself that's not real, whatever you're experiencing. Because if that's a solid experience, then you're unwavering in that. What I'm talking about here is complete different experience here. And those who know this will know what this is. There's a divine feminine here who is no longer in her old energy. She's released this divine masculine. He wasn't committed and he wasn't putting in the work and he wasn't giving her any understanding of reliability and security. So there's nothing to build with somebody who isn't willing to take a chance, with someone who's immature, with somebody who has issues with communication, who has issues with being open to explore. And there's big issues when we pour and invest in someone here who doesn't see their own potential or value. And I feel like Spirit is really saying she's invested here over time. And there's a separation. It's over. There's clouds, there's fire. But there's love. And that's what the love is. The love is, I don't need to have a future with you. I don't need to know anything other than out of love, I can accept the fact that there was an experience and completely accept this and understand that. And as long as I am in my confident energy, then none of anything matters to me, because it's all drama and it's all beneath my needing to explore, you know? Not from an egoic standpoint, but from it's beneath my experience, because I've already had that experience. I already know what it is to love, be loved, and act in love and in the highest. And this divine masculine, whoever she was dealing with, was maybe learning some different lesson, but it doesn't matter because she's clear. And now she has her boundary. And so this divine masculine, if you're here as the divine masculine here, is really having to work. And he's really having to work on this transformation. And I feel like she is not in the same energy. And I don't think she ever will be. And so that version of her, whatever it was that he thinks he's coming into, is gone, you know? But I think it's for the better. And so he's coming in a different energy, but she's also been completely transformed, because this new version of her that he hasn't experienced is completely different than that in which he was used to. And so I think he's coming in with a surprise here. But I think that is what Spirit is talking about. The right mixology is what this pair was to mirror back to each other and what was to be learned and forged. And whatever they just forged within each other, not necessarily these two are going to come together. It could be they just came into union with self and balance with self. And whatever they forged within themselves is what's going to stand the test of time and create success for these two, either apart or together. I don't know. But this divine masculine is coming with some form of message. And he's been changed forever. His world's been changed forever. Her world's been changed forever. And there's nothing anyone can do that's going to change that. No matter how angry, no matter whether it's going to work out together in the future or not. The point being, what's happened here is that these two are forever changed and have released parts of themselves that were really getting in the way of them becoming their highest potential. All right. So, wow. Pile number 2. This is your reading. Hopefully this resonated for you. I'm going to go into pile 3, but I do suggest you go listen to pile 1, because I do feel this is a divine masculine energy, and I feel this is divine feminine, regardless of gender, like I said, but just resonate with whatever works for you. Because like I said, this could be aspects of yourself, you know, completely aspects of yourself here. However, your situation, circumstance that you resonate with, not everyone's on, you know, this sort of a journey, but I do feel like the universe has really puts this in front of both of you guys to experience something here. And it's been not good, and not good for a reason, in order for there to be this beautiful sort of outcome. You know, and like I said, for some of you guys, it's an independent. There's a 9 to a 10, and some of you guys, it's from this independence to this beautiful level up of family and commitment. It's like I've been single, independent, and free. And now it's like this is a healthy integration into building a future here in a family that I'm confident with. And for some of you guys, it's like I could build a future that I want and have a choice who I want to build it with, because I'm independent and free. And I'm no longer relying on anyone else or anything else to sort of dictate this. So we go from an 8 to a 9 to a 10. Okay, so that's what we have. Beautiful people. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Pile number 2. 2. Oh my goodness. 3. Say what? Say what? Say what? You're reading. I have a feeling this is going to be fucked up. Okay? I don't know. Maybe some of you guys resonate with pile 2, but what I kept hearing throughout your pile was say what? Like, huh? Like head scratcher. I don't know if it's good or bad. We'll see. It might make no sense to most of you guys, but it's definitely a very strong energy, and it is pulling through. So use your own intuition. If you're strengthening your intuition, I do suggest you sit through this card layout, or we'll tap into these cards together. Okay, use your intuition. What you'll see, feel, or hear to determine whether this message makes sense for you. If you feel you have a strong intuition, you can go straight away to your channeled message. Okay, I haven't looked at these cards. I don't know what we're going to see here, okay? It could be triggering. So just if you're not ready to hear this, then it might not be your message, all right? So short-term thinking, 30 or 3. Okay, 3 is all about growth, relationships, initial success. Suppression, number 40, 3 and 4. And we have a succession of numbers here. Suppression, well, that's not good. We have 3 people sitting around a cauldron here. I'm getting sort of 3 cups energy here. Okay. So we have like a village, and it looks like, I don't know if this is water, like a boat or some debris here. Just looking a little cloudy. And this kind of looks like a church. Let's see. We have this dude who I just heard, please, sir, can I have some more? I don't know, like, is this like a homeless kid? Both people have their hands up, almost like they're, oh, and it even looks like someone might be here with their hands up. Is this a stick up? Like, drop what you're doing, freeze. Freeze. Like, they're caught in the act. Guilty? What is this? Oh my goodness. Somebody swimming. Swimming. You know who I got? I don't know what his name is. And this is a trigger warning, okay? I'm not trying to trigger you, but this is what I got. I got, you know that swimmer who swims with the females, but he's male? That's what I got right here. What's his name? I don't know. Like the Olympian. All right, interesting. And we have 2 people here, and it looks like they were just intimate. Oh, we have a masculine and a feminine laying in bed, and she's rolled over, kind of holding herself, and he's looking at her. Intimacy? Did they just experience intimacy? What is this? Interesting, spirits. We have this car, and it looks like something flammable. So they ran over something flammable, something's exploded. Cars can talk about movement. We're getting chariot energy, Cancer energy, but we see the flames here. Explosion. Wow. Oh, geez, this is the Lover. So this is the intuitive oracle card, and we're supposed to look at it and read it intuitively, and then look at the back and see what it says. So it looks like this guy's sort of keeping her from harm. It looks like he's protecting her in some way. It looks like a windy day. I'm getting a lot of air energy here, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I'm also getting fire, Aries, Leo, Sag from the fire here. So it could be a sign. Yeah, he looks like he's protecting her, guarding her, like keeping her safe in some way. The Lovers. Affirmation, I attract love, abundance, success, happiness, and fulfillment. Wow. So Gemini energy. Ladybug, appreciate blessings. Look at the 2 ladybugs. Wow, this could definitely be about partnership. This is luck and abundance. Jupiter energy is Sagittarius, Pisces energy. And we have Duck, step into sacred union. Oh my goodness. So although these are 2 masculines, remember saying masculine and the feminine? There's a lot of like interchanged masculine, feminine energy here, you know, despite gender. And this is 2 masculine because these are mallard, the decorative mallard duck, which is 2 masculine. So some of you guys might be in a same sex connection, but this is sacred union. Oh my goodness, what's going on here? The aspirant, ambition, diligence, and setbacks. We have 2 keys, 2 people, 2 ducks, 2 ladybugs, 2 keys, 2 hands, waiting for answers. And this could be crossed swords, you know, a block to answers, a block to knowledge, 2 different roads, being at a crossroads, ambition, setback, and diligence. Okay. Oh my goodness. So we have this, it looks like text message. sitting on red, coming in here. How are you? Hi. Hello there. Are you mad? Confused? This is not how friends treat friends. Piss off. I'm sorry. Holy, this is an influx of messages coming in here. Okay. Someone's being ignored. Someone's being ignored. The gamer. So this could be somebody who, not all, I love to game. Well, not anymore, but I could see how it could be fun. But it's like someone maybe who's distracted here and not in real life. And look at the Red Bull. This is someone who is in their own little world here. The gamer. Someone who likes to play video games. Maybe somebody who's in some form of simulation here. Okay, so 19. Oh, I thought we had 19 here. Some of you guys might be connected with pile 2. And if you connect with 2, you most likely connect with 3. I'm just telling you, this seems like a storyline here. 19 is sun energy, Leo energy, okay? Express love through gifts. A small token of love can convey great appreciation. And so this shell is opening up. So a shell can talk about something concealed. But open is revealing some gem. So it might be revealing some form of something. Ask for help. What do you really need? Be willing to accept support. Number 14. 14 is temperance energy, Sagittarius energy. Express love through gifts. Ask for help, okay? And then we have stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Okay, that's kind of out of the blue here. And release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. Wow. So past hurts, past experiences might come into play here in regards to mindsets, success of a relationship. You know, it doesn't have to be love. Could definitely be a friendship. We were hurt in a past relationship, however, betrayed. Okay, interesting. And isolation. In solitude, discover your true self and connect deeper. Loneliness, solitude, and alienation. Oh my goodness. Well, this person might feel very isolated. They're kind of being blocked here or ignored. Prosperity 36, or the number 9. The frequency of prosperity supports our feeling of well-being by allowing the inclusion of everything that makes our body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit sing. It invites us to express ourselves in joy and celebration of abundance and riches that the universe provides. Wow, abundance, okay. And we have moonlit, embrace uncertainty. Embrace uncertainty. Wow, all of life is uncertain. Body as a house. It's talking about body. This is being able to channel the divine straight through, you know, without contorting it. But we need to be a clear channel. 71 or the number 8. So Leo energy. And we have everything will be okay. 46 or the number 10. 10's an end of cycle. And when we are facing uncertainty, we might fear that everything will be okay. When we're isolated, we might need to hear that everything will be okay. And when we feel alone, we have to be willing to ask for help. So 27, Mercury, Neptune, or the number 9. 9 is Virgo. Hermit energy here. Mercury is also Virgo and Gemini. So Mercury, Neptune. Communicating and channeling in a way here that's direct rather than maybe some form of like way to put things into words that are understood, you know? Otherwise, we're sort of in another planet. I'm feeling like there's a need to communicate and bring into the real world something here. Let's see. Humbleness, clear vision of your value, modesty, realism. Yeah, realism, not fantasy. Respect, gratitude, right place. Type 2, the helper, emotional center between giving and receiving. 92, which is 11, which is 2. Okay, need for choice. That's also High Priestess energy, which could definitely be this channeling of higher consciousness. Neptune is a ruling planet for Pisces. And we have scholar, deep knowledge. There's a high priestess energy. 88, a higher calling that is grounded in self-awareness and reverence for life. Deep knowledge, visionary, realism. Again, look at this, realism. Erudition, specialist, concentration. 7 and 5. Wow. Get real. Yeah, get not out of space land here. Someone might be in space land here. November. Oh my goodness. So we could, Sagittarius season could be important. You might be watching around November. This could be confirmation for a birthday anniversary or a timeline. That's maybe this is communicating here. Carrot, opportunity or windfall. Okay, and then we have dog, protection from a powerful friend. So loyalty, friendship, and we have the house. It's just talking about stability, emperor energy. It's also my 4 wands, 1111. Some of you guys might connect with the twin flame and vibes with the dark angel here. Oh my goodness, spirit. Okay, let me sit here with this energy. You guys can go click straight away on the channeled message. Okie dokie. Pile number 3. This could be you, a person you're dealing with, situation, circumstance. Flip it as you see fit. Okay. I do feel like spirit hit me really hard here with 1, 2, and 3 because I do feel there might be a thread amongst all of them. There could be a blend of energies. I don't know. I'm going to read this exactly as it comes out here. Okay. Say what? And I feel like the say what is a belief here in ourselves in some capacity here, because I feel like whoever I'm tapping into here is in some space land, like completely checked out. You know, we might be dealing with someone checked out, or we might be, but again, I'm going to read the person that's checked out here. When I say checked out, like, what am I talking about? I feel like this person doesn't want to face reality and come to earth. And they don't want to come to earth here because I feel they might have been hurt in the past or have some hurts within them and an experience within them that's creating havoc in their world, how they express, how they engage. And I feel like it's creating a block to experience, a block to love. A lot of you guys might be dealing with, for a lot of you guys, your divine counterpart here, okay? Some of you guys, it is coming through as same sex, just as confirmation, but it doesn't have to be. Both of you guys could be emulating an aspect of a masculine sort of energy. Okay, but I feel like this energy here, although might be masculine, is not really stepping into any masculine sort of energy, because I feel like this suppression, which a lot of masculines do, is really like a form of feminine, because it's not allowing us to take charge in some way. We suppress. So there's been so much suppression here, suppression of feeling, suppression of action, suppression of truth, suppression of, I don't know, whatever it is. It's like here in the moment, and that's all that sort of exists. And here in the moment's great when we're in the present moment, when we're healed, when we're conscious, not when we're in a program and hurts, because this is more avoidance and distracting. And so I just want to think of this present moment and like think of immediate gratification and short term. And for this person, it's all about distracting themselves. And this has been their MO, or I don't know, whatever, however they've been engaged here, which I feel has created some form of block. And I feel like this person has a very difficult time connecting on a one-on-one and getting deeper than let's just sort of celebrate and have a friendship here in some capacity. There's a level of review here that transcends past, or it goes above and beyond short-term thinking in regards to what do we want to commit to? Is there something a little more serious here? that requires us to navigate our emotions. And I feel like we're finally stuck in our tracks or caught in our tracks of this sort of way of being that's been perpetual or a state of being somehow. And I feel like we can no longer sort of go down that track, so to speak, like Spirit's really sort of shining the spotlight, if you will, for us to address with this. And why is Spirit doing this? Because I feel like there's something we can't ignore or avoid anymore. And I feel like this divine masculine, which I'll read as a divine masculine, is coming forward with some form of, I don't know if it's desperation, but it's like whatever was suppressed is kind of coming forward like these floodgates in some way. And I feel like he feels if he expresses something or shows something or does what he normally does here, which might seem as though he's going out on a limb, it isn't received at all on the other end. There's no one on the other end. It throws him into a trigger here. Okay, I feel there's a match and it sets him off. And what is this? This is the other side not being receptive. And it's not because the other side hates him. The other side's not receptive because this masculine has been not of value. This doesn't mean he's not valuable. This doesn't mean he can never provide value. This means this masculine has been not of value because he's been in fantasy and he hasn't been providing anything of value. And instead of asking for help or instead of healing or instead of working on his own ability to do what he needs to do to be healed, healthy, and in the real, he's been doing everything he can to stay suppressed and in the fantasy. Now he's feeling isolated, and it's a reality. He feels rejected or isolated or alone or pushed out or not seen or not understood, and then it fires up even more. So now we double down. And we're doubling down here. And Spirit is really saying this isn't to create suffering. This is for you to release your hurts of the past. This thing that you've carried within you, however it was generated, for a lot of you guys, it might have been a past circumstance relationship here, has created some way of engagement that is creating a block between you and enjoying another on an intimate level. It stays sort of superficial and in some sort of fantasy land here. And I think it's created a separation, a setback, and an experience here that I don't think you like. But instead of it getting better, it's getting a lot worse. Okay? And Spirit's not saying this to make you feel bad here. Spirit is saying this is guiding you and leading you towards abundance and what is actually going to be good for you, even though it might not feel like it's good for you. Because I feel like there's a need for you to overcome and understand this about yourself. And so we might get very upside down and start to question a lot of things. Was this person loyal? Do I feel what I feel? Do they feel what they feel? Like, what's going on here? There's a need to really humble ourselves. And when we humble ourselves, it's like, I don't know anything. I'm not going to try to sit here and figure it out logically because the divine knows. And I'm not going to say that thought is more stronger than feelings. I don't know. And just because I fear it doesn't mean that it is bad. Intimacy doesn't mean weak, you know? And if I have these thoughts, it's like there's a need to just allow the divine to sort of guide. And I feel like this is very foreign for this divine masculine, because I feel like to allow the divine to sort of guide and lead might seem like he's losing control. And that's exactly what I see here as a divine masculine losing control. But what he's losing control of is the false stories and the version of him that was in La La Land. There's a realness here. It's bringing him down to earth. How to deal with emotions, how to deal with people. And I feel like he might get so wrapped up in this thing that he might get very down on himself, very hard on himself, and very negative self-speak. I'm unlovable, or I don't know, whatever it is here. It won't work out. It's like, no, it's not going to work in the same capacity in which you've been invested or engaged, because you've been spaced out completely in your own bubble world. And Spirit is like really turning on the spotlight, and it's very evident here. And I feel, like I said, it's like throwing gasoline on like a match, and it just blows up. Because everything that was suppressed, everything that was sort of trying to remain, I don't know, wherever it was, is now coming to the surface all at once to be seen and dealt with. And we can no longer sort of avoid. The screen is off. The game no longer works. The distraction no longer can distract. The suppression can no longer be suppressed. And we have to confront and deal with our beasts, whatever this beast is here. But Spirit is really saying, like, you're not alone. Spirit is always channeling through you, but you must be a clear channel in order for you to connect to it. And so everything else that was within you was sort of deflecting Spirit from working with you. So first we have to really accept Spirit and be humble that we know nothing. And that even if I feel all these uncomfortable ways, it's like this for a reason. I don't know better than Spirit. So I'm not going to shut down and automatically try to change it, because if I do, I'm going to experience more difficulty. So I feel like there's a darkness here that's being shown, and we might feel like it's like the dark side of ourself or something like this that's really like difficult to navigate through, and like, I don't know, feel abandoned maybe even, but Spirit's not abandoning. It's always Spirit sort of there. It's the shadow coming out. And so I feel like Spirit's talking about there being a crossroads right now. And I do feel it is in a connection or a relationship that is at a halt or stop. And the only sort of way to move forward in this is to go through one path of knowing, because the other path we already know doesn't work. The other path that we experience, our knowing of whatever it was, created an outcome. But that outcome was short-term. That outcome was non-committal because it wasn't capable of getting deeper than the present moment of, distracting. That was the extent of it. And the other option here is to really live life in reality, like escape that matrix, and to know that everything will be okay. But this is all about how we channel our emotions and how we express ourselves, and taking that in which we feel and then channeling it in a different way. Because I feel like the old way of the past was to pretend it doesn't exist, stay distracted. However, this is, says the gamer. I don't know. It could be TV, it could be drinking, it could be partying, it could be anything that distracts. Okay, this is games, so it could be games for some of you guys. But this is all about being in the matrix, in the fantasy land. If I don't see it, it doesn't exist. But I feel like the wake up is this feeling rejected by somebody maybe who just was always there, or always sort of fed this illusion, like this illusion, keeping up this illusion made me feel like it was okay or safe or something like this. It's like, it's not safe for you to stay here. And why it's not is because the universe is now saying, hey, like, you're caught in an act here that's really self-defeating in some capacity. You're robbing yourself. And I don't think that you'll know where this goes, and so that there's the fear. It's like, oh no, like, I don't know where this is going to lead me to. And I just want to kind of go back to playing video games. And Spirit's saying, oh, well, you cannot. Step into sacred union. There's only one way forward. And if you resist and try to go backwards, it's not good, because there is no going backwards. And this will just create more suffering. And so the only way is forward, knowing it'll be okay. Spirit for pile 3. Say what? For pile 3, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good for pile 3. This feels like a collective message for the twins, if I gotta be honest, you guys. The sun in reverse, Leo energy, blocking enlightenment. This is all about consciousness. Knight of Wands in reverse. Clear and concise message for pile 3. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3. We have the 8 of Cups in reverse. The devil, Capricorn energy, 6 of Cups in reverse. Wow, look at that. 8 of Pentacles. And the Lovers, yeah. And the Fool, Gemini, Aquarius. Okay, pile 3. The only way we could get rid of a devil is to shine the light, illuminate the devil. This Sun is in reverse. We weren't wanting to see the devil, or we couldn't see the devil, or we didn't understand the devil. Okay, the devil really does not exist. Now, people get all triggered with that. The devil really does exist. There are evil people in the world. No. What that is ignorance. And it's the absence of light, God. It's like a shadow. And I always describe this. It's like, here's the sun. Here's the person or the obstacle. And then it creates sorry, I don't know if you guys can see the sun. Here's the obstacle or the person. And then the sun hits this, and then there's a shadow. You can't capture that shadow. That's the devil. It's there, you see it, but it's not an entity. It's the absence of light. And so when this thing moves, there is no more shadow. It's all light. Okay, so the light needs to be cast in the shadow, or else we don't see what the devil is. There is so many layers to this devil that's really stemmed from hurts, an experience we had that's saying release your ex. Okay, that's how it's wording it. But what's really coming through here is there's a need to deal with the pains of the past, because it's projecting and acting in this connection or this situation in a way here that's creating difficulty. So there's an inner demon that's going on here, an inner shadow that needs to be looked at. And until we let the light in, until we let spirit in to do what it does by embracing uncertainty, knowing it'll be okay, and being humble, we're sort of getting in the way of the light and casting shadow. So as long as we think we know we're right, as long as we keep suppressing, resisting, running, doing whatever we're doing here, staying in avoidance, playing video games, drinking, whatever we're doing here, there's something we're doing here getting in the way of the light. That's the obstacle. The light is always there. The sun is always there. The sun is impartial. It will shine on everything. It doesn't select, I'm going to shine on only that tree and only that thing. No, the sun is there. It shines on everything. It shines on murders. It shines on Mother Teresa. It doesn't care. The sun is there. Why is the sun not shining on the devil? The sun's not shining on the devil because something's getting in the way, and it's creating shadows and blocks. Who's getting in the way? Your false self, your hurt self, your shadow self, like your belief self, that version of you that's creating this resistance within you, avoidance within you, whatever it is that you're sitting in, that energy, that's the shadow. And spirit wants you to surrender and let that go so that the light can cast on this devil and break the chains. Because there is a stuckness here. And this talks about our childhood, you know. And so this could be very deep rooted in the subconscious. It doesn't have to be, like I said, like a romantic relationship that we experience loss or abandonment. This could be abandonment at birth, abandonment by a parent. It's like a relationship experience that left us reeling in our subconscious, that's creating havoc and the devil in our world now. And so it's on repeats. A person, place, thing of the past that won't let us move forward from it. And it stays alive, stays alive, stays alive unless we shine the light on it. And so it's preventing there from being forward movement towards what you are actually wanting to experience here. Okay, and you can say, well, I'm wanting to experience it. It's like, yeah, but how you're going about it. Remember I said it needs to be channeled in a healthy way here, not in a way of like La La Land. There needs to be down to earth sort of dealing with it. And so how do we do it? We got to walk away from what's emotionally not fulfilling. If it's not in line with how I feel, if it's not acknowledging how I feel, if it's getting in the way of how I feel, if it's making me feel any way but love, then I got to walk away from it. And right now we're clinging to the person, place, thing, the comfort zone, the distractive place. We're not leaving it, walking away, recognizing it. And Spirit is saying, this is what we need to work on. Commit, dedicate, day in, day out. So if you have someone here who's fucked off, because I feel for a lot of you guys, you're in the outs here, and someone maybe you're very loyal to or thought would be loyal to you, Spirit is saying there's a need for you to deal with yourself in this way. And then the choice will come upon you, this situation in which you can choose which path to go down. But right now, you're not conscious enough to see this path clearly or to even be put in front of this path. Because this path is only available when we are clear and conscious and see our own devil. Otherwise, we're still in fantasy, and fantasy isn't going to lead you down this path. It's going to block you. You can't experience this. You can't experience this person. You can't experience this path. You can't experience what you're actually supposed to experience. Again, it's supposed to, because this is what you're destined to experience. It's blocked here. It's stuck. And you are forever in this toxic circumstance, whatever the toxicity is, playing games, not growing up, stuck in your mind, stuck on this X. Okay, again, not the words, but the X. It's like the experience. The experience. I remember when I was abandoned. I remember this hurt me. There's some memory that you have, some way that you believe that you'd be abandoned or let down or something like this. And you're upkeeping this devil by resisting and suppressing. So, can you see the light? Spirit's saying the light's already there. You just got to get out of your own way. So we got to put our feet on the ground and we got to get into realness. So this requires humility. This requires being real. This requires dedication and concentration. Not avoidance, not short-term thinking, but truly, like, because this concentration is the opposite of this sort of short-term thinking. It's like, I'm really concentrating on the realness of this, the severity of this, the understanding of this thing, you know? So I feel like there's a requirement here to get things stable. Look at justice. So balance, harmony. And maybe you feel like this is someone I was loyal to or would be loyal to me in some way. And I think what Spirit's really saying is this is karmic justice, spiritual justice. This experience you're having, which I don't think is pleasant, is the justice. You're having to go through this in order for there to be a karmic balance. Okay, so you're still sort of in this devilly hold. And Spirit is like knocking on your door and is shining this spotlight on you. And it's going to be whether you resist or whether you get out of your own way so that it could be revealed to you and shown to you. Because we got the lovers and we got the lovers. And the lovers is a choice to go down a destined path of where you're being called to. And so wands in reverse right on top of the Knight of Wands in reverse. So suppression. Suppressing, going after what we want here. 10 swords in reverse. So I need to accept some form of ending, not resist, and call whatever we need to call to an end to an end. We're at a crossroads. 2 wands of the world. So, beautiful angel. You're at a crossroads. The only way to get on the path, to choose the wand of your calling, your dharma, it's getting out of your comfort zone. Because right now your comfort zone is to be in that space land. We have to put an end to that way of thinking and engaging. Because Spirit is really talking about going after what it is that you say you want and what you're attracted to and pulled to and fired up about. And I think you're getting really fired up about this thing. But this thing isn't going to align with you until you close out completely this way of being, so that you can close this chapter and be free to explore this. And only you hold this wand and this ability to take action. So no matter whether you have devil in you or whatever, it's like you have the power and you hold the decision to take action. Take action on how you're going to deal with the devil. Are you going to confront and put effort, concentration, humbleness, shine? You don't need to shine the lights, but move out of the way so the light can be seen. Or are you going to stand there, resist, suppress, and keep repeating sort of this inability to move energy? Because then you'll keep experiencing the same thing, which is drawbacks and blocks. And this lover's path will definitely be blocked. But I feel like Spirit's coming really through here with saying you're ending this cycle, and this is a successful conclusion. Success. And this is a very long, long phase. And when we close something out like this, we're being reborn. Okay, and I feel like the rebirth of you is going to be something completely different. So yeah, you have an opportunity here that's stunted. It's sort of sitting on a shelf in the ethers here, waiting for you to explore it, waiting for you to move towards it. And maybe you can say, I don't want to, but Spirit's saying there's a need to close out this unhealthy pattern. And so this is why we're experiencing maybe this pain, you know? And maybe we don't want this relationship or this connection or this experience, but we need to learn about why we were shown this, was so that we can close out this cycle. Yeah, look, potential on the table that never got realized. So we want abundance. We have to move out of our own way so that the light can shine the path towards the abundance. All right, so pile number 3, this is your reading. I hope this helped you. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye.